Hello friends, welcome to this week's card class. I apologize for those of you that have been waiting for this video. I got a little behind this past week. So normally this video would have been filmed last week, but didn't happen. So here we are. So here we go. So today we are going to be making 3 cards that are kind of wintry themed, but they could be just Pacific Northwest themed if you're wanting to just go that route. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So the first one we're going to start with is this fun little guy. You have all of these little bits in your kit here. This fun deer, which is from a die cut set by Sizzix that I love. Such a fun shape. And then you have this botanical circle stamped within the inside of this aged parchment circle. This is from a stamp set from Altenew, and that's the key stamp set that we're going to be using for this card kit packet set today. All right, so to get started here, first thing you're going to do is you have 2 little groupings of twine. So this dark green twine, we're going to start here. So I wanted to make this kind of a fun kind of, I'm going to call it a fun fold card. So the splatter technique we're actually going to have be on the inside of the card. So we're going to fold that so the splatter, green splatter is inside. Then we're going to take the front of this and you're going to see how it's scored. This is going to fold back. So when you're looking at the card and it's just standing up, you're going to see and enjoy all of that fun green metallic splatter. On the far right side here, we're going to be wrapping around our dark green twine. So we're going to start out with this in the middle, excuse me, and then we're going to go around this way as many times as we can go. And I'm kind of going back and forth, so that way the middle is where all of our twines are coming together. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it into a knot first, then take this long twine and go underneath, and then squinch that off. So it's all squeezed together there, and then just tying a knot right there in the middle. And that way you can take a moment if you need to and kind of spread the little twines farther. If you're finding that you want this to be more in the middle and it's just a knot, you can kind of squeeze this together a little bit and you can kind of scoot it over, so then that way it is in the middle. Okay? All right, once you're happy with where that is, you're going to take your scissors and trim the little tails off. I'm actually going to tie this one more time because I don't want anything to come unwound there. There we go. We'll just tuck those. Let's trim those off. All right, so that's going to be on the far right side. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting on this dark green piece. Now, there's a situation here with the dark green piece and with this piece here with the aged. Now, my idea is that I would like this to kind of shadow it just ever so slightly. So before you glue this down, you need to figure out how much of a shadow of that you actually want. Once you've kind of decided, I would probably recommend adhering this in place. So I'm just going to put my double-sided tape on the back side here. You can also use glue if you wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Just again, kind of holding this in place to kind of decide where I want this to be here. And I've decided I think I want it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down. And then for this guy, I want it to kind of hide this botanical look on the inside there. So I'm going to adhere this guy right here. So as I'm putting it on double-sided tape, I'm only putting it on halfway. So this half right here is not going to have any double-sided tape on it at all. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down and just press that in place. All right, now I'm going to come in with my other lighter shade of my twine, and we're going to, again, kind of start in the middle of our little circle here. I'm actually going to go this direction so that the shorter end is on my side. When I was teaching the class, I was like, you're going to have to kind of go slowly to go all the way around, and Karen was like, why don't you just flip it over? And I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to hold this in place on top of my dark green circle, and once again, we're going to kind of wrap this, and I'm kind of going back and forth so I get that kind of center that's a little bit more condensed with all of my bits and pieces kind of coming together there. We're going to wrap it. Once again, we're going to tie it into a knot and bring that under and tie it in one more knot again and kind of bring all of the centers of our twines together there. And I'm going to tie one more knot just to lock it in. And once again, I want this to land more in the middle, so I'm going to kind of squeeze that together and kind of scoot it over. Okay, and then spread those so that you get that kind of squinched look like that. And then we're going to go ahead and trim our little twines. All right, so right here, this is the part that I wanted to add on my fun little deer. So in your kit, you're going to see this fun little deer die cut, and then also 2 pop dots. So on the back side of our deer, we're going to stick on each one of those little pop dots. And this is so we're going to go on top of and kind of around this knot of this twine here. Oops. So sticking that on there, and then I'm going to peel off the film on the back side. Maybe. Come on, little guy. my goodness. There we go. And this one, there we are, perfect, okay? And then we're just gonna take this and we're just gonna press it on top of the little knot right there. Or if you want your deer to be a little bit more centered, you could do that. I'm actually gonna scoot this over just a little bit more. So this is where the fold is. So I want this to kind of be at least a little bit centered. And I'm gonna stick that right there on top. Okay, and there we have our first card. Isn't that so fun? I love how it shadows that a little bit, and then you can have it stand up, which I actually think is really nice. Okay, all right, on to the next card.